Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cycle, and this is Let's Play Train Simulator. The date today is September 23rd of 2011, and what happens on this day? Well, it's the end of days. That is what we see here. There is another scenario called Chop and Change here, but I think that one's a little further down the list. If I continue looking down the list, that's actually the next scenario in the list. That's on April of 2011. So I'm just going with the order in the manual, which is the next one. So this is September 23rd, 2011. End of days is the first scenario listed in the manual. This is a scenario that starts at Havant at 11:18 in the evening, and the day ends at 11:47. So this is a dark scenario. We're going to get this out of the way. I'm not sure how many scenarios there are that take place in the dark, but I want to get it out of the way because I know you guys don't really like these dark scenarios. I mean, I sure don't. They're not fun to watch, and most of the other ones seem to take place during the day. So let's get this out of the way. Let's just take out this very short one in the dark, and then we're gonna have a lot of daytime searching on the route from there on. So let's get into the dark scenario. Level 2 scenario, not too hard, unlike this other one up here, which is apparently level 4. So it's the end of a good day's work. Take the unit on its final leg to Portsmouth Harbour before working back to Fratton Depot. There we go. So we are going to be making our way to Portsmouth and Southsea. To Portsmouth Harbour, and then back to the Fratton back road. That's what we're going to be doing here. So, here we go. Let's get started. I'm waiting for a pop-up box, but I don't see what. I think we just get started whenever we're ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop in the cab, and we're going to get going. Let's just do that by lifting the AWS. Self-test is not happening, so I guess this doesn't have a self-test on it. I remember that from last time. There was not a self-test. So no self-test on the 450 apparently. It's already working. Which would make sense for this scenario since technically you've already been going on the journey anyway. Quick look at the train outside, and there's what it looks like in the dark here at Havant. Where are we located? We're located on the bottom of the map. We just came in from the northern section. We're going to be working along this whole section here, so that's what we're going to be doing. Over to these stations, and then we're going to finish from there. So let's take a closer look after we get going. Thank you. So we're going to get ourselves going. Our next stop, or really our first stop, is at Fratton Platform 3. That will be at 11:27, so we got 9 minutes of driving to do here. Need to remember that there are only a few stops on this journey, so we don't want to necessarily go too fast either because we'll lose points for speeding. We're now under career scoring, so we have to be a little more cautious with our score now. 70 is coming up, so we are going to enter a 70 section in a moment, followed by an 85, so we will be able to get up to speed a little more then. For right now, we're going to just idle at our throttle at where we are right now. I'm going to start increasing now that we're getting to the end of the section. Headlights should be on. Guess what? Our headlights don't work. They don't work very well. Oh, there we are. They are on. They are on. They just don't work very well. So we are passing through this station. We don't stop here. We're just going to keep right on going. We're going to enter an 85. You see we do have a green signal, so there's the 85. So another quick look at the map very speedily. That station we passed through, by the way, you can see was Bedhampton. So we're going to be going to Fratton, which we're going to skip another station. The next station we're going to skip is... We're going to be skipping Hillsea. So Bedhampton will be our next station, or Fratton rather will be our next station. We're going to continue on to Portsmouth Southsea, Portsmouth Harbour, then we're going to head back up the back road. We're going to continue up to the Wash, and we're going to basically call it a day at the depot, just like that. So we're starting to get up to speed now. We're going to start reducing our throttle. So I'm pulling it back. I'm going to just coast to 83 seems to be good, especially because we have 50 coming up. So we're going to need to slow down for the 50 anyway. And then speed right back up for 80. That makes sense. I see people who say it's better to just take the small penalty, but you know what? I'm not one of those people. status alert, at which point we really have to hit the brakes. We're now a mile away from the 50 restriction. Now, look at the ETA. The ETA is actually 4 minutes from now, so supposedly we're going to be very, very early. Because that's 3 minutes before our expected arrival. Let's make sure our speed comes down because we don't want to really push the... I'm easing off on the brakes because we are getting close to the 50 now. And we are now at 50, so we're going to just go ahead and coast. And the wind seems like to pick up sometimes in these areas. I don't know what happens, what caused that, but it happens. We're now in the 50. Or 60. Sorry, this is 60. I read that as a 50. Oops. Well, I got down to 50 in time because that's what I thought we were supposed to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch that speed up. We have lots of time anyway. We should be alright for our stop. Tells you how I don't know the line that well yet if I thought that was a 50. So this, I believe, was the Southsea station. $75 coming up. Since we are looking like we're going to be in plenty of time, I'm going to actually ease the throttle off right there and not speed into that 75 because we have to get down to 40 soon anyway. 40 speed limit follows that. So I'm going to coast with level 1 throttle right now. That's holding us at 74, so I'm going to treat that as a coast. There is Fratton right up there. We got 5 minutes to get there. We're not going to be allowed to leave till 11:28, so we should take our time on this. As such, I'm going to start applying the brakes now, because I know these brakes are spongy. I really need to apply those brakes now, so I'm going to do that. Thank you. That warning was for the, I'm not sure if that was the 75 or the 40 we just got warned for. Probably the 40. It could have been the 75. Let's apply further brakes to make sure we're going to get down to the 40 on time. Because 40% does not drop that brake very well at all. Or does not apply the brake very well at all. So we're down under 40 now. We are going to get there. I'm going to keep the brakes going at 40% though because I want to make sure we slow down in time before Fratton Station. So we are going to keep those brakes going. Once we get into Fratton, we are going to have a small segment that we're going to stay within as we end up returning to the Fratton Depot after we finish. So I'm going to take the brakes off now. Our ETA is slowly getting later, but we have plenty of time, so that's alright. We can travel along at this speed until we get a little closer. You can see Fratton coming up, and you can also see Portsmouth and Southsea coming up on the next part of the HUD, a little further along. We need to be there at 11:31, and we need to make it to Portsmouth Harbour by 11:36. That last one being a 4-minute drive. Let's get the brakes applied now. We are coming into Fratton Station. We have arrived at Fratton Station. Okay, let's keep the brakes going down. I eased off of them for a moment. But we do need to make sure we apply them with enough power to come to a stop before we get to the end of the platform, so we shall do that. Which means we're going to do a heavier brake application now, and then we're going to try and coast in after that. So now we're going to try and coast in a little bit. We're going to coast to the end of the platform at this point. We are almost at the end of the platform. And completely on, please. Doors are open. We have arrived at Fratton Platform 3. We're going to be here for a while. Leaving Fratton Station, I don't know if you noticed, our signal for some reason just suddenly turned yellow for a moment there. So our signal's being a little sporadic. It went from a green to a yellow. That is not something that really should happen. If that was something that was happening in real life, I'd probably contact the signaler and find out what's going on. Because they might have just hit the wrong switch or something like that. But you never want to be sure. You have to be sure that's what's happening there. So we are making our way to Portsmouth and Southsea, our second of our 3 stops on the actual customer leg of the journey. We do continue to have a green signal, so whatever blockage occurred wasn't there. I was not expecting a train coming in the station either, so that was a nice little touch, being able to watch that come in and come to a stop. I enjoyed seeing that, actually. Nice whenever those trains can be fit in to the schedule so you can see them coming in. One advantage about night scenarios where there's not a lot going on, it's hard to see any lag either, so you can assume it's just a smooth journey the entire way unless you see some lag in the station. So, yeah, I'm assuming everything was fine on this journey. We need to get down to 15, so I don't know why I bothered increasing the speed there. We're going to actually lower the speed now. We're going on to the down leg here. I presume that D means down in this case, so we're going to follow the down platform, which is platform 2. I'm just slowly lowering the speed a little bit here. We're going to try not to speed in the meantime. And we're down to the speed we need to be at 15, so I've gone ahead and taken the brakes off. We are going to go ahead and coast at this time into Southsea, or Portsmouth and Southsea, because that's really all we can do. Our arrival time at Portsmouth and Southsea is 11:31, so we have a minute and a half to get there, which is good because it's probably going to take us about that long. I didn't mean to lower my speed though, so I'm going to go ahead and put the throttle back on for a moment as we come into the station. Wind. You can see the repeater signal telling us that we are going to be safe to proceed. I'm going to go ahead and apply the brakes now. This is the time to do so. Slam those brakes, please. Going to ease off the brakes so we have a little less discomfort on the passengers. And there we are. Doors are open. Arrival at Portsmouth and Southsea, Platform 2. Leaving Portsmouth and Southsea Platform 2, our next and final stop of the customer leg of the journey is at Portsmouth Harbour. We'll be stopping today at platform 1. We do leave under a 15-mile-per-hour speed restriction, but we are going to be quickly easing up to 40. We're not going to have time to get up to 40, though, because we're going to have to drop ourselves back to 20 and right back to 15. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of 20 while we can. And a small speed increase, but we're going to have to eventually bring it right back down. We do have green signals, which I would expect to at this point. So we have our temporary 40 coming up, but I'm not going to really have a chance to get up there. I might get up to about 22, 23. I'm going to want to bring it right back down. Yeah, this is as high as I dare to go. Let's bring it back down. So we got a slight speed boost there for a moment. We're going to idle at 20 for the time being. We're eventually going to bring it back down to 15. Alerts for the end of the platform coming up, the end of the line coming up. Our arrival time once again is 11:36, so we're going to keep that in mind as we lower our speed for the 15. Let's do that now. There's our double yellow. Platform 1 is indicated, which we already know. You notice the signals don't delay before turning red. You're supposed to be able to go past the signal before it turns red, but a lot of these train simulator, as soon as you go into the area, you're going to have a red signal. So it turns red instantly, which is not normal. Warning of a yellow signal ahead. We seem to be affected by a slight downhill gradient as we're coasting but gaining speed. So I'm going to go ahead and control our speed and make sure we don't gain speed. Just stay down here at 14 for the time being. As you can see, the end of these journeys is going to be a bit of a pain each time we come through. We are now entering the platform. And I don't think there's anything to slow us down before the buffer. I don't think there's any emergency brake thing, but we should be down at the proper speed anyway. So we're going to go ahead and just coast in gently. I'm going to make sure the entire train gets on the platform, because when we're done, we're going to change ends and we're going to leave anyway. This train is not spending the night here. There is another train over there that may be spending the night here. We don't know that. So we're going to start applying the brakes now because we're getting close to the end of our buffer here. Actually, a little faster than I thought. So let's go ahead and slam those brakes. Now we're going to go ahead and coast. We can go a little bit further on the buffer. I'm going to go ahead and stop there because we don't really need to test this too much. So arrival at Portsmouth Harbour, platform 1. This is the end of the passenger service. Let's take a look. So I brought up the F4 HUD. We are going to go ahead and change the reverser to 0. We're going to leave the brakes on. We're going to change ends. There it is. We're going to head back to the deep. That's not how you do it. We're going to go the other way. There we go. So we're going to change ends. We're going to put that reverser up. We're going to head back to the Fratton Depot. Let's go ahead and do that now, shall we? Back to the F3 HUD. Leaving Portsmouth Harbour. Our speed limit leaving the harbour is 15 miles per hour. Which we're going to get up to in a hurry, so we're going to watch it as we get up there. There we are, we're at 15. Close enough to 15 anyway. So our next, we're not going to have any timing markers till our final stop at 11:47, so we got 11 minutes to get there. But we want to still be on time for these next two markers just to see that we're not going to have any problems with our final timing. So we have to be at Fratton Back Road by 11:43 according to the schedule I'm looking at. But on the screen you can see it says 11:42:15. So 11:42 we want to be at the Fratton Back Road. The final 200 points will come from our arrival at the Depot Road. Now, I don't know if we have to set any switches as we come through the Depot Road. That's something I will figure out as we go. I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the temporary speed boost that we have here, as I did before. But we're going to have to bring it down in time for the 15, so we can't do too much of that increase. So I'm going to stop right there. No more increase right now. Put it back to 20. Now, unlike with the move into the 20, I don't think we're going to have a lot of chance to get above 20. We're going to have to get down to 15 in a hurry once we pass this 40. So we're going to have a brief moment, if anything, and that's it, where we can get up to a faster speed. I would check the switches, but I'm kind of nervous about having to manage my speed at this moment. So let's go ahead and increase briefly, and then we're going to have to lower it again right away. So once again, there's our increase. Now we're going to bring it right back down, slam it back down, and ease it off for a moment so we don't hit the brakes fully as we get in. There we are. We're getting down to the 15 again now, so we are going to be under that restriction in a moment. And we're going to make our way through Portsmouth and Southsea once again as we head to the Fratton back road. We're going to be there in plenty of time, it looks like. Whoa, don't speed. That was quite an increase there as we're on a slight downhill here, it looks like. 1 in 410 gradient. We're now going through a different platform than we did on our way through earlier. This is platform 1. So we're also getting a tour of Portsmouth and Southsea with the service. Let's take the opportunity to check and make sure our switches for our final stop are indeed where we need to go. We're going to Depot 5. The switch is set for us, so it looks like we are good to go into the depot. Let's just carry along with our duties, shall we? Not a bad mission here. This is a quickie. Which is good for a night mission. I like quickies at night, you know what I mean? Don't say a word. It is YouTube. Let's apply some brakes because we are starting to gain speed. A 1 in 67 downhill gradient. Still gaining speed with a small brake application. I'm going to increase that brake application for a moment. We're going to release that a little bit now. And hopefully we're in the 25 before we have to worry about increasing again. We go on the S line at this point. Our gradient has leveled out, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and removed the brakes. We are following the Fratton back road now. We'll need to be at the Fratton train wash at 1/4 to the hour. You can see the wash platform coming up. We're going to go through that, then we're going to go to the depot. 25 is now our limit, so I will increase our speed temporarily, knowing we have to get down to a 10. Then we have to get down to a 3 for the wash, which, oh boy. Drop off the guard at the platform just before the train wash. Okay. Oops. So the wash platform is coming up. Or do we do it here? I'm not sure. Do we do it here? Oh, stop at wash platform. Okay, I get it. Stop at wash platform. We need to get our speed down. I'm trying to gain speed on this downhill in a way I don't want to. Is that my red? Oh, that is actually a red signal I have to follow. The wash platform is very, very close. No, we got the shunting signal. I'm not sure what that red signal was for. We do have a shunt signal. So we are good to proceed here. So there's our indicator that we're going to the wash. The wash platform is coming up. We need to get down to 3 anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get to the wash platform. This is going to be painful, guys. So we're going to try and coast at 3. This is going to be absolutely painful, but we're going to do it. We have 5 minutes to get to the end of our drive here, but on a 3-mile-per-hour restriction, you want to make sure you go that full 3 if possible, because you can lose a lot of time for each little bit that you're missing. So you need to go the full 3 if you can. So our stop is right in about 55 feet, it looks like. Our stop is right now, so stop. We'll just let off our... Oh, we don't even push T. We don't even have to hit T. Our guard just finds his way off on his own. Apparently that's our guard. I don't know. It's showing as a passenger platform for some reason. But that's apparently our guard. So our guard has gotten off. We're done. We're the only one left on this train. Pass through the train wash at no more than 3 miles per hour. Roger. And for the purpose of the train wash, let's look outside, shall we? Bye-bye, guard. Wee, Southsea. Southsea! Ooh. Is there another train going by? Oh, there's another train going by. Cool. I didn't see him coming in. Beauty. Another train finishing its service. So our train, as you can see, is now nice and squeaky clean. You can see we also have passengers at this time, so they're going to be spending the night here. That service does cost extra, so back into the cab. I know we are set for Fratton Depot, or number 5. I'm watching for the speed to increase because we have to keep our speed low as we go through the train wash. But I think we're through the train wash now. No, I think part of us is still going through the train wash. So once we're done going through the train wash, I'm wondering if we can do a slight speed increase to finish our journey. We'll find out. But we are arriving at the depot anyway. Our arrival time is 11:47. We must be there by that time. Technically, we're already there. We're just 500 of a mile out. We can't really inch forward. Yeah, I am pushing slightly because I know we need to maintain our time here. So let's see how much time we can pull off here. I'm going to pull as far into the depot as I can before our time runs out. 22:47:37 is our goal. We have arrived at Fratton Depot 5. Our train wash is complete. Well, the last part of the train is still going through, but now our train wash is complete. So if we pull into the train wash over there, you can see that, ooh, very nice, very nice. So we're going to try and get the full train in the depot. It may not happen, but we do have a neighbor. We do have neighbors. All these guys are at the depot. They got here before us. Oh, we have a 10 now. We can speed up a little bit. Fantastic. So we're on our way out to get to the platform. We are going to have time to get our train fully in the platform, it looks like. Or in the depot, rather. Of course, you can see the end of the depot is ahead, without question. Unquestionably the end of the line for us. So we're going to take the small increase. We're going to get ourselves stopped up here. And we're going to call it a day. Or a night, in this case. So the back of our train is now in the depot. We can come to a stop. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. We don't need to go all the way to the buffer, though it is technically appropriate to do so. We will go ahead and coast at this point just a little bit longer, and then we're going to come to a stop. We're now 200ths of a mile out from the buffer. At 100th, I'll put the final brakes on. Well, actually, we're not there yet, but now it's 22:47, 23:47. We're now at 100th, so let's go ahead and stop here. And that's the end of the scenario. So here we are just among the trains in the yard. We're calling it a day. Let's go ahead and see how we did on this scenario, shall we? Career scenario, first one, schedule complete. The depot fitters will take over from here. I would imagine so. So let's get to the menu and see exactly how we did. Should be a pretty good result. You're joking. Well, I'm going to have to come back and finish that later on because apparently the timing I had for arriving was not good. I should have stopped earlier, apparently. I don't know why I stopped before the time indicated on the schedule, and I was apparently late. So I was about to say good things about the scenario. It was well written, and the timings all made sense, and we were actually a little early, which makes sense. It can be possible to do that in real life. But then all of a sudden, that happened. And even though I followed the last timing properly, I didn't get the proper recognition for being on time. So I was marked as being 10 seconds late despite following the proper timing there. What can you do? The game is programmed in really weird, bizarre ways that keep you from scoring full scores. It's a good thing these points do not matter, or that would tick me off a lot more. But knowing me, I'm going to probably come back at those last 10 points at some point. It's just a waste of about 11 minutes, you know what I mean? It's a waste of 11 minutes after you do that, even from a save. So what can you do? What are we going to do next time? We're going to do another scenario in this series. We're going to probably move to chop and change. I have a feeling that's going to be the next one we're going to do. It's a 75-minute scenario. An overcast afternoon. We're going to start that day leaving Woking at 13:25, 1:25 in the afternoon. We're going to be stopping our day or ending our day at Fratton at 2:40. So that is a nice 75-minute drive, and that's what we're going to be doing next time. So make sure to come back for that. We'll see more information about that. It looks like it's not a straightforward run. So stay tuned for that next time. I'm Cycling. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you at your part of the world. I will see you next time for Chop and Change. Bye-bye.